They were selling Banana Island for 40 million per plot, 1,200 square meter plot. Somebody told me they had 20 acres somewhere near the sea, and I'd always loved to own a beach. I put my money. Unfortunately, there was no documentation. It ended becoming what you know today as the deep harbor, as the deep sea harbor. I lost the money. I lost the opportunity of Banana. Banana Island is now about 2 billion for that money which I spent and didn't buy the right place. Invest in serviced apartments. Now let me take you through to another section, which is your advantage as a diasporian. And after that, I'll tell you a little bit about Makarios, which is section 5, your advantage as a diasporian. Your currency, 8182, your currency gives you an advantage, but it doesn't give you in London, doesn't give you in Canada, doesn't give you in the United States. If you take your US dollar and bring it to the United Kingdom, we know how to reduce your dollar to almost nothing. Also, if we carry our British pounds and come to America, for our dollar, for our pound, we might just get £1 30p at 30. I mean $1 30 cents, $1 35 cents. Canadian dollar gets the same in Germany, etc. But if you carry your money into Africa, you have an advantage because you get leverage, you get arbitrage, a rising through your money. Invest foreign earnings into Naira assets. And look at the people whom I told you. A person living in Texas who bought a land for 33 million. Let us even say, yes, the currency was devalued, but 97 million Naira will still do much more than what their dollar did when they bought the land. So you still have a major advantage. And although I'm not God and I'm not a politician, I can almost, based on my study of Nigeria, I can almost predict that before you have a major currency crash, it may be after 2031. I'm just speaking as an individual. Don't quote and say, how come you are so sure? I'm just telling you as an individual. Invest foreign earnings, therefore, 33, 83, 84. Buy when exchange rate favors you. And right now, it favors because $1 gets you at least 1,400, 1,430, 1,440. £1 gets you somewhere between 1,980, getting close to 2,000. In other words, if a person is buying now, they get an advantage. They get an advantage. Choose developers with diaspora structure. And tonight we're going to present to you the chance to be able to take our diaspora structure to invest, to buy. And matter of fact, whatever we present to you today is a discount corridor because we're launching. And once we close the discount corridor, people will have to buy at the launching price. And you can demand virtual inspection, 85, 86. You can insist on transparent documentation. We'll show you the document of whatever we're doing. You can ask questions. Avoid cash-only developers. We wouldn't even want you to pay with cash. We would want you to have a form of transfer that you did. We wouldn't reject cash, but we're saying in general, we prefer a flow of payment. Buy from audited companies. We are a company with a good management structure, an MD, COOs, ED, CFO, sales department, legal department, engineering. I just serve as the spokesman for the company. 8990, invest in projects with resale flexibility. In Makarios, we don't put a clause there that you cannot resell. I've known estates where if you are going to resell within 2 years, they will share in the profit. We don't do that because my vision in life is win-win. Number 90, demand remote property management. So that if you want us to manage it for you, we can do so. 91, 92, secure post-purchase support. You want us to support you until you take over totally, we'll do that. Choose developers who understand diaspora psychology. People don't understand why sometimes people in the diaspora make certain demands. It's the lifestyle you've seen, it's the quality you have seen, it's the build style you have seen. And that was what motivated us to start Makarios. There is a lifestyle we've seen, there is a quality we have seen. And if you look at our Makarios luxury place, we have a whole water show place. Even banks have come and, shall I say, ridiculed me for putting the best part of our land to be a water show place. They expected us to put large buildings there because it's facing the motorway. They thought we should have put large buildings there. But we wanted a place that people can say, I live in the place where you have the Makarios water show place. By identity, not just land. Number 94, by identity, not just land. So when they say, where do you stay in Lagos? Makarios. It's Makarios. Once you say Makarios, most people they know the estate you're talking about. I cannot imagine where I have been in the past 3-4 years. And people have not said, hey, Makarios, 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 Makarios. 95, 96, and then I'm going to move into what Makarios stands for you, and I'm going to stop and hand over to Mr. Mayo. Hedge against global housing stagnation. There's a stagnation. You need to put a hedge. You need to take advantage. You need to quickly seize the moment. Buy. Ladies and gentlemen, take advantage. 96, repatriate wealth into an appreciating market. Into an appreciating market. Into an appreciating market. Before we started building these apartments, I had some small monies. I wanted to buy small apartments for my grandchildren and put in a trust. I was amazed that as soon as the apartments finished, there was already a tenant for them. Every time an apartment was handed over, there was already a tenant for it. Every time an apartment was finished, there was already a tenant for it. I'm planning probably at the end of this year to tell the tenants, okay, thank you very much. You can leave now and turn it to Airbnb because that's going to make more money as you put people, even if it's not occupied 52 weeks, 30 weeks at $300 or $500 per week is better. I'd like to now take you quickly and begin to round up. I will have taken you through government and regulatory actions, but because of time, okay, I'll do that for 5 minutes and share Makarios for 5 minutes. 101, government regulatory. Buy only government approved developments. Insist, always ask, do they have planning approval? C of O is not enough. Demand verifiable C of O. C of O means certificate of occupancy. And please, my fellow diasporians, let me just let you understand what C of O is. 1978, a general, not a civilian, a general called Olusegun Obasanjo changed the scope of land in Nigeria by making it certificate of occupancy instead of freehold. So please, nobody has freehold in Nigeria. If there's freehold, it's before 1978. But certificate of occupancy gives you 99 years. And by the way, nobody in 99 years' time will now tell you, come and carry your estate away, come and carry your house away. There will just be another negotiation. I'm sure it will not be as difficult as we think. 103, 104, avoid development on Lagos State government blacklist. 176 estates were published. We had no planning approval, and we were already building, already selling. Investware approvals are complete. 105, 106 buy estates with drainage master plans. Lagos floods, but we take pride in Makarios that our estate never floods, because what we did from day one was to build above the roads and to connect all our drains to the master plan, master drain of the NTDA, New Town Development Authority. Until they gave us approval, we did not direct our water anywhere. We directed it to government approved places. All right. 109, 110 is important before I move. 109, 110, invest where titles are transferable. What does that mean? So when you buy from Makarios, we'll give you what is called root of title. Whereas Makarios has the C of O, Mr. Jeremy Bewon, or whatever your name is, has bought this piece of land. We give him a survey and we give him a deed of assignment that have assigned this particular place out of this C of O to this person. It becomes yours. You can even go higher by taking what we've given you to Lagos to say you want to get governor's consent. We can help you process it. Buy properties that banks can finance also. In other words, when banks want to finance, they like to see good document. 111, 112 is important before I go to Makarios. Avoid Omonile control zones. How many people have cried? One of the advantages of Makarios is that we fought all the battles. We faced all the Omoniles. We've taken all the fires. We've faced all the challenges. We've gotten all the documents. Bought from government, bought from Omonile. Nigeria is an interesting place. We had to buy twice to ensure that all fires are taken care of and documentations are proper and powerful and strong. That is for Makarios Luxury Place. Makarios Champions Place, we didn't have to deal with Omonile because that one is straight away government allocation. And so let me just quickly take you to Makarios specific power actions from Makarios. Makarios, that is who we are. If you invest in Makarios, you are going to have high standard. Our aim is Dubai standard. We want to try and create Dubai in Africa. That's why we spent close to $2 million on just the water show place. Close to $2 million. Opened by His Excellency, Governor Sanwo-Olu. Became the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. By the way, if it's luxury place you want to buy into, there's still land. There's still commercial land. And our commercial lands, we still have a school, we still have a hotel, event place. Anyone who takes advantage, doesn't look at the cost, can buy those ones. Buy into luxury destination, not just housing. Like I just said, I was sitting with a girl who is a guru, maybe one of the gurus of selling property in Lagos. And she's already saying she wants to move out of her estate because of her child, very smart little boy, very smart. And she said, the only estate I can think of at the moment, and she was mentioning our kind of estate, and also the estate where I stay whenever I'm in Nigeria. When it's time, I'm going to move into Makarios. I'm about to actually fence my own portion there. I'm going to live on Eagle Drive because all my cars are Eagle 1, Eagle 2, Eagle 3, Eagle 4. So we have Eagle Drive in Makarios Luxury Place. All our street, by the way, in Makarios Luxury Place are birds, 27 birds. All our streets in Makarios Champions Place are all names of clubs. Chelsea Road, Chelsea Drive, Manchester United Drive, Manchester City Drive, Fulham, Arsenal. That's the ones I can remember. I think think there are 2 or 3 from Europe. I can't remember all the streets. The emphasis of Makarios Champions Place is 4 F's: family, friendship, fun, football. Family, friendship, fun, football. I was raised in northern Nigeria in the military barracks. I speak Yoruba, I speak Hausa, I speak Igbo 60%. Used to be 90%, but travel abroad has messed up my Igbo. It would have been better than what it is now. I want that kind of atmosphere again. I didn't even know who was who. I ate in any house where evening met me, where lunch met me, and my friends ate in my house. Makarios Champions Place on a great camaraderie. You live on Chelsea. One day, all the families on Chelsea will play Manchester Street. I keep saying Chelsea because I'm a Chelsea supporter. So we're going to play Man U Street. We're going to play Arsenal Street, and so on and so forth. It's also going to be a place of friendship. There's going to be a major arena that's going to be built when we are ready. Makarios wants to build almost at the entrance of the place, a major place. But as you enter into Makarios Champions Place, there is going to be a turning left into the Villaggio. The Villaggio is a village with 12 big buildings with 22 apartments each. So that is 22 times 12, something like 240 apartments. So if you can notice that the image they will place on the screen, the road in front to the left of the screen is Lekki Epe Expressway. So you enter through the gate. Once you enter through the gate, you see like an addition to the land to your left after you've entered. That is the Villaggio. So it's like you live in another estate inside another estate. So all the apartments, beautiful, 22 on each block. Some will be only 16 if there are only 3 bedroom. Some will be a mix. We're doing it according to demand. There'll be 12 blocks here. May I just say that 2 blocks have almost gone. So that addition is the Villaggio. So people live inside Makarios Champions, but people who live in the Villaggio, they enter Makarios Champions, they drive to the left into the place where the Villaggio is. They will have a second gate. If you don't belong in Makarios Villaggio, you cannot enter. When we started the event, you saw a gate. That's what the gate of the Villaggio will look like. So when you buy Makarios, you are owning inside a future African landmark. And I say future, even though it is right now a landmark. In the whole of Lagos, if you get to Lagos, you say, ahead of an estate called Makarios in Lekki Epe Express, they'll tell you, yeah, we know them. Our 2 estates have the same kind of gate, beautiful iron gate, not bricks. Once you are in front, you can tell. You can leverage Makarios' record appreciation. We have so many people who have testimony that they bought their land, have gained value, and that our staff, the way they've responded to them anytime they have queries, questions, etc., is amazing. When you invest in Makarios, you're investing in curated exclusivity. Like I told you again, I'm going to be living in Makarios Luxury Place. I've cut out my own. I have to pay for mine too. I have to pay for mine. I'm taking 5 plots. I can't live on 1 plot. In the place where we live now, our house is on more than 2 plots. So I'm taking 5 plots. I like animals at the moment. I have peacocks. When I get to Makarios, I want to have deer inside my own premises. I like living with animals because you control them. Human beings will give you trouble. The animals, I can tell them what I like. So 127, 128, leverage Makarios water show attraction. 128, invest in Instagram-worthy developments. What do we mean by that? Beauty. something you can show off if you want to. It's yours when you buy it. 129, 130, own prestige engineered property. We're very particular. In Makarios Luxury Place, there are buildings we chose not to start until we're ready to do it well. For example, in Makarios Luxury, one day we're going to be building 10 floor buildings. And we only suspended it because we want to do it right. 130, buy where emotional buying drives demand. So you combine your feeling and your faith and your conviction. Invest in Makarios as spiritual core concept. I was talking to the MD the other day, said, why were the streets called bird names? He said, because whenever they close in Makarios Luxury Place, and sometimes he takes a walk, the serenity, the quietness, the beauty, and he sees some birds. I said, well, number one, we want to emphasize nature. Number two, we want to be environment friendly. Number three, we don't want to be overtly spiritual. And they say, it's a Christian estate, it's a Muslim estate. But at the same time, we want people to enter and say, what is it about this estate that makes one feel peaceful? Because again, when you live in Europe, when you live in America, and a lot of places, that kind of atmosphere has been created. And my dream, I'm not interested. I'm not looking for to make money to buy a car. I'm going to be 74 next month. I'm trying to build legacy, to do something that people will say, this is Makarios. This is the dream of a man called so and so. So leverage elite neighborhood dynamics, buy where young wealth is moving. The Champions Place, I think, is going to be so popular with a lot of young families. Of course, there are young families in Luxury Place. Invest in tech-friendly estates. Makarios, the two of them are going to be so tech-controlled. No one can enter where you live without you sending them a code to enter. They have no code, they cannot enter. They can reach the commercial section. Makarios Luxury Place and Makarios Champions, the commercial is upon entry. Event place, hotel, school, mall, the water show in one, and football place in the second. But where people live, you will have to be permitted. Choose Makarios flood-free infrastructure. You know about Lagos, and you know about flooding. Not one drop in Makarios. Once it rains, you can't drive into Makarios, and you will not see any flood in Makarios Luxury Place, where we have already finished the infrastructure. All the roads are already done, and it drains. Leverage assist to build services. You live in Europe, you live in America, Canada, you say, I can't come home. I want to build. I want to buy land. I want something my family can stay in. Yeah, use Makarios currency flexibility. We can take Naira, we can take pound, we can take dollar. We're ready for anyone. Benefit from resale and transfer option. Like I told you, there are estates where you cannot sell. They will tell you, and if you sell within 2 years, they must share the profit. I have always believed in win-win. So monetize Airbnb with Makarios management, leverage virtual tour technology, buy into copied but unmatched models. Everyone began to copy whatever we did, but they're still our dreams they haven't seen. Invest in early phase luxury zones and own before mass adoption. You see, the corridor I mentioned, a good number of estates are rising. We have a standard, we have a quality, we have a track record, we have what we want to achieve. Tonight, as I close, and before I bring Mr. Mayowa, I present to you 6 things you can invest into. 1, you can invest into 300 square meters in Makarios Luxury Place. 2, you can invest into 500 square meters in Makarios Luxury Place. 3, you can invest into the villas in Makarios Luxury Place. 5, you can invest into the terrace houses in Makarios luxury place. You can invest into the commercials there. And when I take you to Makarios Champions Place, you can invest into 3 or 4 things. One, you can invest into 300 square meters. You can invest into 500 square meters. You can invest into the apartments, the villaggio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, or 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom with the option of a boys' quarter to go with it. Any of those ones, and we'll give you the opportunity to take advantage now. Once you take advantage, then when we launch, you have priority. Like I told you, we've done 1 or 2 road shows, and we're giving you the grace to enjoy what those 2 road shows enjoyed. And you heard me say every day I went to the site because we are launching. We are not postponing. And once we launch, the price changes. So you have an opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Mayo. I need to just stop there and not take all 200 points. Will be just like keeping people here forever. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Pastor Matthew. That was a blast. That was a masterclass.
Thank you.
For someone who studied estate management to a master degree level, I couldn't have done a better job. You did brilliantly well, sir. Thank you. Guys, let's give it an applause to Pastor Matthew for that masterclass. I hope you guys took notes. What he shared tonight are things people pay money for in the city of London. And you can use that anywhere in the world. So, thank you once again, sir. And I'm so excited for everybody here. I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight. We're 306 people that have decided to show up with us tonight. Thank you for showing up. We have people from the US. We have people from Canada. We have from South Africa. We have from Scotland. We have Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, all over the globe. So this is a global meeting tonight. Thank you for sparing this evening with us. And we believe the pastor has given you wealth of information that would really, really help you to take decision tonight. And tonight, really, Pastor Matthew, I know that one of the things you wanted to launch tonight to this amazing audience is the villaggio.
Yes.
What exactly do we have in the villaggio?
Well, the villaggio is an attempt to make the demand of some people possible. There are a good number of up-and-coming young professionals who don't want the hassle of a 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom house. They want 1-bedroom apartment. They want 2-bedroom apartment. They want 3-bedroom apartment. They want to own it in a place like Nigeria. Number 2, some people want to own it even for business, so that if it is a business, it is being run either as a short let or a rented out place, or they are owning it as an Airbnb. The villaggio it gives you a huge advantage. It's like a village, but it's an exclusive village. It's a beautiful village. It's a village where you have adequate vegetation, where you have adequate parking. If you buy 1 bedroom, we'll guarantee 1 space for your car. You buy 2 bedroom, we'll guarantee 2 spaces for your cars. If you buy 3 bedroom, we'll guarantee 3 spaces for your cars. Wow. So the villaggio is like for the person in the diaspora who he wants to own something that both he can live there when he comes, or he can rent it out when it's not there. The villaggio presents that opportunity. If he also wants it for people who work in that corridor to be able to rent, it becomes a possibility. But certainly, my dream, my vision, my aspiration is to see that people are not cut out because of the cost of things like the villa called Deliazo in Luxury Place, or the terraces. Some people buy that. We have a good number who have bought that, and we still have some left. So the villaggio gives you an opportunity to come in In fact, the Villaggio gives you the opportunity to probably remortgage, take some equity out of your property in Europe, in America, and buy immediately. And we also made it so convenient for you to be able to pay for it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, family, you've heard that. The Villaggio consists of 1 bedroom apartment, 2 bedroom apartment, 3 bedroom apartment. And tonight, Pastor Matthew himself will tell us the prices of these apartments. I know the prices, but I want it to come from him because he's giving us massive, massive, massive discount if you take action tonight. You see, many of us that have lived in the Western Hemisphere, let's say in the United Kingdom, we saw what happened when they were building Beckton. We knew when they were building Milton Keynes. We know when Shafer 100 took off, and a lot of us did not take advantage of those estates I've just mentioned today. In fact, Pastor Matthew is calling Villaggio village. It's not a village, it's in Betuleki, so that you don't think it's in the Bonis. It's not in the Bonis, it's in the heart of Ibejuleki, where the action is taking place, the new Lagos.
Yes.
So it's an opportunity tonight. And we're going to talk about it, how it's going to be easy for you to afford this. Because the 3 bedroom apartment, I think the price is about £51,000. That's a chicken change. So, Pastor, tell us the prices of this amazing apartment that you've unfolding tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayowa. The 1 bedroom apartment is £38,961  4 pence. If you key into it today, I think it's like we're almost shooting ourselves in the foot. It's 31,168.83, which is we're giving you a huge, huge discount. And the 2 bedroom, which is £51,948, we're saying if you key into it today, you get it for 41,558. Now, by the way, the 2 bedroom here in London, 2 bedroom apartment is now somewhere between 200 and 400,000 pounds. And yet we want to make it available 41,558. And let me just say, I mean, all my staff are on the platform tonight. Our MDs there, our EDs there, our COOs are there, our CFO is there. The CFO is there, and they will confirm to you. In order to make these prices possible, we took the land back to how much we bought it in order to make the price possible. We took it back to how much we bought it, so it is bare value in order to really make it attractive. And I'm really telling you that at the end, once we break ground, we're not going to be giving discount. The 3 bedroom is 64,935, but tonight, oh my God, the kind of discount is 51,948. And this in effect means that if you are a person who keyed into this, we also did something on top of this crazy, crazy, crazy. Makarios does not do what we do with the Villaggio. We're giving you the opportunity. You pay your deposits. There's a minimum deposit you pay, and you can spread the rest for 24 months.
Whoa.
Although first come first are the first to finish paying gets the priority allocation. But we are giving you 24 months. With Makarios, once it is after 3 months, you have to put it has to have interest. All our land, once it is after 3 months, it has to have interest. In fact, the staff are still looking at me like, did you get your economics right by doing this? I said, I want the Villaggio to become popular, to become accessible for people. Mr. Mayowa, I was a teenager in 1969. That's a long time ago. I was a teenager in 1969. I was 17 when Kofi Busia of Ghana deported Nigerians who had lived in Ghana 5 generations, 6 generations, and do not know their hometown. They just knew that their hometown was somewhere in Oyo State or Yoruba land or Ibadan. So a long bus brought them and dropped them in front of a cinema called Scala. I think it is Scala, Ikotedu Ibadan. Dumped them in front of that cinema, and they were seated with their load. They didn't know where to go. In fact, they couldn't pronounce Ibadan. You say, where are you? They say, our parents are from Ibadan. They didn't know home. And ladies and gentlemen, when I was talking, when I was advertising this event, and I said the British government is considering withdrawing passports from people who travel and are coming back home. I read it, I saw it, and I saw a man do a full presentation. It's not scaremongering. So the equivalent of ICE is coming to the UK. It has even started. In fact, they are going to first start with people who are drawing benefits, who are not making any contribution. But God forbid, imagine a person go back and has nothing to fall on. But beyond that, your money can make profit in Africa. So that's the price for the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me break down price to everybody on this call tonight. Let's take the 3-bedroom apartment.
Yes.
For 50, say 50. Let's round it up to £52,000. Some of us are privileged to have finished paying our mortgage in the UK. Some of us are still paying a mortgage. Let's assume that your mortgage is a rent you are paying. Don't take it as a rent. Averagely, if you live in a 3-bedroom house or apartment in the UK, the rent cannot, if you're in London,
yeah.
I'm in Dagenham, SS area, a 3-bedroom flat or a house is renting for minimum £2,100. You can check that, go on Rightmove. Check it. I've just, please mute yourself, please. I've just rented out a 3-bedroom apartment for £2,300, which means 2-3 in a year. That's £27,000 as
Holy
rent.
God.
If I pay 2,000, and also for some people that have a mortgage of 400,000, 500,000, if you pay the repayment mortgage, it's going to be about that figure. So what we're saying, the rent you pay in a year or the mortgage you pay in 1 year, 2 years can afford the Villaggio 3-bedroom apartment.
And then the villager will now come back and give you profit as people use it for Airbnb or rent.
Correct. So what are you waiting for? You have the opportunity of a 2 years instrumental payment to key into this project, and you have a product that you can compare to any property in the world. I've been privileged to travel to a few countries in my life. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Portugal. I've been to Turkey. I've been to all over. See, and I'm going to tell you one thing. Pastor Matthew touched about it. The tourism market in Nigeria is going to explode.
Yes.
Very, very soon. See, as of today, the tourism market brings $70 billion to Dubai economy.
Wow.
Turkey, $61 billion to the Turkish economy. Egypt, $15.3 billion to the economy. And Nigeria is just scratching it, $2.95 billion. Don't take my word for this. Go on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give you those figures on Google. And I look at the Nigerian weather. I just came back from Egypt last week. When I was in Egypt, the weather is is about 17 degrees. In Nigeria, it was 30 degrees.
Oh, yeah, yesterday was 32.
30 degrees, which means if the Nigerian government packaged Nigeria very well, is a better location. And there's no better place than the Bejuleki axis.
Yes.
The Lekki Calabar zone, the coastal road is tourism.
I drove on it 2 days ago.
It's tourism. So, my people, and I'm not saying this to you, I've been in real estate for 37 good years. I'm involved in Makarios. I'm putting my name online for Makarios. It's not a place you are going to regret. Let's even say you don't even want to live there. You are not going to go back to Nigeria and live. You're going to travel to Nigeria one in a year or twice, especially for those of us that are over 50 years now. Personally, I feel like relocating back to Nigeria now. I'm joining this meeting from my office. I've been in this office for the last 20 years.
Wow.
I've been in the country for 25 years. I own an estate agency in Dagenham and in Grace. So I'm not telling you a story. I study estate management as a degree. My master's degree is real estate development. Pastor, when I went to the US to compare the drivers of real estate growth, we had to compare the US drive and the UK.
Wow.
And one of the things that is driving real estate is all that you have shared with us. Infrastructure. 10 years ago, we didn't have rail system in Lagos. Now it's going to pass through Makarios.
Yes.
Dangote refinery is going to be the biggest refinery in the world.
Yes.
These are facts. The deep sea is going to be there.
Yes.
You have an opportunity tonight. The form is on the chat box there. Show your intention.
Yes.
Let's show you how your £1 can give you 2,000 naira in Nigeria.
Mr. Mayo, I just saw a question there. It says, when is it going to be ready to live in after paying? You just heard what I was saying. One of the reasons we said 24 months is because we want to under-promise and over-deliver. So when we break ground in March, I can guarantee you that 2-3 houses will be ready by the end of this year, which is 9 months. But we want people to feel like, in 24 months time, so they have the time to pay. But by December, there'll be we're building 12 blocks. We will have built minimum 3 blocks or 4 by December, if not more. So that's a good question, but we've given you the latitude of 24 months. So one of the reasons I did that, Mr. Mayowa, was because when we went for my wife's 60th to Dubai, one lady pursued us like crazy. So I bought into an apartment in Dubai, and they told me 36 months. Mr. Mayowa, they got that building ready in 24. So I thought to myself, these guys are smart. They gave me the chance to be paying. So by 24 months, my building was ready. I had to look for ways to even redeem the remaining months. Of course, I've since sold it because I've thrown all the money again into Makarios because I want to build a legacy. So we've seen track record, we've seen the possibility. And by the way, as we speak to you today, it took us just about 9 months to build villas, huge 6-bedroom villas. We built 14 of them in 9 months. We built 24 terrace houses, huge 4-bedroom, 24 terrace houses. We built them in 9 months. So the reason we said 24 months is because we wanted to give you the chance of payment. If you came tomorrow, boom, and you redeem the money, you'll be among those. I think I know that 1 or 2 people paid fully up front. Somebody whom I still send the link to her today, having a holiday in Dubai. When we were launching in New York, she just paid straight away, I think for 1 or 2, straight away. So it will be built faster than you can pay.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to be taking some questions from the audience.
All right, sir.
Daniel, thank you. You've been You've raised up your hand and we didn't ignore you. You have the opportunity to unmute yourself, show your face, and answer your question, Daniel. Daniel Olukayode.
Or if they send it to you so that.
Okay, I've got some few questions here, Pastor.
All right. All right.
Thank you for this session. I just needed to stress a little bit so
Okay.
that people know the opportunity that we are unfolding tonight.
Okay.
So first question that I have here. Good evening. If you had 10,000 pounds to invest in Zimbabwe, what will you invest it into? I know it's not Makarios' question, but
sure,
get them to come to Makarios because you can invest anywhere in the world.
If you had 10,000 pounds to invest, if I were you, I will invest either in Harare or Bulawayo. I've been to Zimbabwe several times, and I will invest in Harare, particularly because Harare continues to grow. There has been a serious migration of people from Zimbabwe into the world. In the past, Zimbabwe people never used to go out too much. The economy was fantastic, but when there was pressure from the things Europe did to them, many traveled out. So look for a place not far from the heart of the city, maybe 1.5 hours drive or 2 hours. Buy land there. Get your documentation. That's the first place. The second place may be Bulawayo. Bulawayo is the second largest city. But the third one, which I would have invested in, would be Mutaru. Mutaru, they suddenly found diamonds, diamonds at surface level. So there is a serious migration into that part of the world to mine. So ask questions around. Where are the areas where the Chinese or people are mining? Buy land there with the intent to build. If I were you, that person who asked from Zimbabwe, don't build big houses. I'll just build bungalows. Beautiful 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom bungalows. That's what I'll do.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope that answered your question, the guy from Zimbabwe. And in addition, we just be investing where you believe you can get a better return for your money.
Yes.
Don't limit it to because I'm from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Money goes with returns. Okay.
Yes.
Second question for you. Will you advise to invest in real estate in UK or Nigeria?
If you had the money, this is the way to look at it. Real estate in the UK gives you returns, but it is as slow as a millipede. Very, very slow. Real estate in Nigeria returns in a level that doesn't make sense. And even Nigeria is broken into about 7 to 8 places. Real estate in the Ivejuleki axis will return your money in 3 years. Ikoyi may return your money in 2 years, but you will have to have $500,000 minimum. Banana will return your money in 2 years, but you will have to have $1 million minimum. But the Bejuleki axis will return your money in 2 years or 3. And like you heard us say, if you now cross the water and you go to Ikeja, you will return your money in 5 or 6 years. If you go beyond Ikeja to other parts of Lagos, it will return your money in 8 years or 10 years. If you leave Lagos to your village, you're on your own. Abuja will return your money in 4 years. Much of Abuja real estate is politicians hiding money. Let's just say it as it is. It's politicians hiding money. So there's a boom in real estate, but there's a lot of issue. It doesn't have the population. What makes real estate sell is population. I've lived in London for 42 years. I came into London when it was close to 5 million. 42 years later, London is now 8 million. Lagos, I came into Lagos about 52 years ago when Lagos was about 6 million. 52 years later, Lagos is 27 million. And in 24 years' time, Lagos is going to be 40 million. So what you look at, the indices for investment in real estate is one, demography, that is the movement of people into an area. Two, the quality of the economy. Three, the area you are buying into. Four, the possibility of returns. Five, yeah, there is inflation. Africa inflation does not make sense. But at the same time, for some reason, people are ready to rent, people are ready to buy, and you need to see the kids or the young men and women who came for Dirty December. Some of them couldn't find enough Airbnb, so four were staying in a room, and they would have loved to stay in the hotels. The Airbnbs were sold out. It was unbelievable. So, if you ask me, in the UK, London has even saturated itself out of real estate. You have to go outside. And whereas if you go outside, your money takes 5 years, 6 years before you begin to see any tangible return at all. In Africa, your money does not take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It takes Lagos 3 years. Your money is returned and your property is still standing. It takes 3 years and your property is still standing. So for a person like me, we never owned a house in Africa until 8 years ago. We just kept buying land, kept buying land. So now you imagine land which we bought 30 years ago, the value today. So if you ask me to vote, having lived in the UK for 42 years, every penny I have in the light of demographic growth, London is not likely to grow beyond 8.5 million people in the next 10 years. Lagos will hit 30 to 35 in the next 10 years. And the Bejuleki axis, sometimes I just wonder, how did all this crowd reach here? Because I've owned land in that area for 26 years. And I know places that were bush, but they are now huge cities. And in fact, when they put the coastal road, I was surprised at the level of development. So it will have to be Lagos. If you buy Makarios, you are 15 minutes from the sea if you want to go to the beach. You are 20 minutes from a lot of infrastructure, and you are 20 minutes from the coastal road if you want to travel to your hometown if you are not from Lagos.
Thank you so much. I'm enjoying your questions. Please, if you want to ask your question live here, just raise up your hand and we'll call you. The next question, sir, is, I'm sure you've dealt with this before. How long is the lease on the flat? Talking about the title of the property, the Villaggio.
Remember what I told you earlier? The lease given with the certificate of occupancy is 99 years. So by the time you come into Makarios, by the time we finish your building and you are occupying, the document will give you will read something like 96 years. 2-3 years will have gone out of it. So you will have 96 years. There is no freehold in the whole of Nigeria. I own hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of land in Nigeria, 200 acres near Abuja, all across Lagos. But can you believe I only own half a plot that is freehold in Tinubu? And even that one is because somebody had to use their great grandmother's house to pay me back the money they absconded with. Other than that, everything is. So when we give you, it's not going to be less than 96 years.
Thank you, sir. So it's similar to what is obtainable in the UK if you're
it's 99 years like here. And I'm sure at that time people will renew. It's not going to be so onerous. People will renew.
They can't deny you from renewing, so it's your right.
Yes.
That answered that question. Thank you for those answer. My next question to you is, if I buy a land in Makarios Champions Place, can I build and use it as short lets?
If you build in Makarios Champions Place, Yes, the only thing we will do is we will work with you to control entrance, exit of the people who live there. Because remember, we're trying to protect people. Because one of the things I saw one person raise before we started this evening, oh, there's insecurity in Nigeria. Lagos is amazing. Every estate that have created a good firewall system, people are secure, people are fine. If you come into my estate where I live at the moment, which Makarios decided to take some concept from, people are going jogging 3 a.m. in my estate. And because I live in the waterfront, I can see them jogging by 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's the life we want for Makarios. So if you now put somebody for short